Well, hi, good morning. Thank you for coming and joining me in my shop here. Today is January 2nd, and it's promising to be a very, very snowy day here. Seriously snowy day. So I think I want to just take a look at the radar with you before I get going, because I have to decide when I want to go and try to shovel out the driveway. And no use doing it if a ton of snow is coming. Let's take a look at the weather here. This is the Canadian Radar Weather Service. Let me back out. You can see where we are here, right near Toronto. And you can see the Great Lakes, and you can see activity on the leeward, I guess that's the leeward side of the lakes, and that's where I live. I live right here, where it says Aurelia, and under the snow here. Hard to see where the lake is exactly, but I'm right here. You can see what's happened is we've gotten between these streamers that are coming down off of Georgian Bay, and this is Lake Huron over here. And there's another streamer coming down this way, and it looks like this one's going to be on top of us. So the thing about these snow lake effect streamers here is the rate of snowfall right in the middle here can be just unbelievable. And you can get a couple inches an hour coming out of something like that. And it looks like it's coming my way. So not wise for me to go and remove the snow from the driveway now, because this is coming. Yeah, and this could go on for a long time, like a day or two of this kind of thing. So we could get many feet of snow here if the conditions were just right for it. Wow. Okay, let's go back to the radio now. So yesterday I replaced the filter capacitors, and that went okay. And today I think I want to pursue some more of these capacitors, perhaps even all of them. The one that's a little bit more daunting than the rest is the capacitor that's been used to support the battery here. I got to replace that. I got to deal with this loose battery again. And what should I do about that battery? Anyway. Let's check it again, because I believe it's 1.1 volts, which is pretty appropriate. Might as well check the other battery too and see how it's lasting. I can't imagine it's going to last forever by any means. This is the one that I put water into it. This one here. I never sealed the hole up again, which I should really do that. Okay. This is putting out a volt, which is actually fairly appropriate, and this one, I saw 1.2 go by there, 1.2, a little more coming out of the second one. Well, and considering the radio's operating with no sign of distortion, I think those batteries are fine for now. I suppose the smart thing to do is to do the tough one, and this is a big one also. Why don't we find out what this guy is doing exactly? What are you doing in there? The back side of it here is going down to the chassis. The front side is going somewhere in the radio. It's going to a terminal on a tube, which is good. Okay, so it's going to pin number 7, pin 6 on the output tube. A big capacitor on pin 6 of the output tube. Pin 6 appears to not be used here. Yeah, I don't see the number 6 coming up on it. So it's maybe a spare terminal. That would mean there's a wire coming from it. And there is, and that wire appears to disappear. There it is. This is the wire here. It's also a resistor off it. I can even see there's no pin in the tube. Doesn't have a pin there either. So there's no question that's just a terminal for connecting So we're connecting this capacitor to down here, which is a resistor away from the power supply. So there's only so many big capacitors, just this one and that one, only two. So that should be fairly easy to spot too, just by looking at the size of the capacitors. Like that says, what does that say? 0.75? That doesn't make any sense. Let's look at another one here. 0.05. That's probably 0.05 also. Well, these aren't 0.05s. These would be 0.1s, or maybe even bigger. So they would normally be, one would be off of the screen circuits. 0.05, 0.05. What does that say? 200? 0.005. Oh, this is difficult to know what you're looking at. 0.005, and oh my gosh, I don't know. That could be it right there. That no, that cannot be it. That's a totally wrong circuit here. Where are you, big capacitor? 0.1 somewhere. 0.005. 0.005. Well, it's hiding. So I think what I'm going to do is go drink some coffee and study this. There it is. There it is. There's one of them anyway. 0.1 here, going down to the chassis. This other big one, where does it go? Goes right down to the chassis also. Another one goes to the chassis. So when we found one of them, where would the other one be? If I were a big capacitor on a schematic, where would I go? Maybe you've seen it already and I'm still looking for it. There's another one that says 200. And that sounds more like a voltage rating. C20, 200. But that's not going to be it either, I don't think. Maybe way out here. Well, it's a mystery. I don't know where it is. We know where this one is. So this one is on the, what is almost certainly the B minus line. No, it's B plus. B plus? Really? At B plus? So we come up here, yeah, it's heading for a plate. A big capacitor to the chassis off the B plus line. Oh. Not sure. Well, anyway, there it is. Okay, not to talk too much. I will get busy on that. Okay, here's an idea. What if I try to rejuvenate one of these batteries and pop it back in instead of maintaining this idea? Since it worked with this one, why can't it work with these? Let's check the voltage. I'm pretty sure these are dead. Let's see what we get. Nothing. 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 They're all total zeros. And we checked this one here that we fiddled with. Well, I'm going to try the same thing. I'm going to drill these. I mean, these are useless otherwise. I'm going to drill holes, try to get some water in it, and we'll see how that goes. So I've done one. So I'm going to guess what I'm drilling through here is zinc. So it's a zinc carbon battery. Okay. Now, I'm going to get some water into these and see what happens to them. So I've removed the one out of the radio. I thought, well, I'm going to do the water thing again. I'm going to do the pressure technique. And while I was moving these, this white powder started pouring out of them. I don't know what it is. Let's take a closer look at it. And not that I think we can identify it, but how surprising it was to me that this powder just comes sprinkling out of the hole. That could be a corrosion product. You almost see it inside there. I think I drilled much bigger holes this time. Yeah, I did. I drilled a bigger hole. This is the original one. That's a whopping hole compared to the first one. Yikes. Oh yeah, you can see the white powder in there. Ooh, it's just full of powder. What is that stuff? I don't know. Gee, is it possible to find out what's inside one of these guys? I don't know. Whoops. Does it mean anything? Does it make any difference? My plan here was to water these up and then solder over these holes, and that would give some life to this. I don't know. I don't know what that powder. I don't know. I'm not gonna know. Should I shake it out? Probably not. Probably leave it in there. It's coming out of all of them. Yep. It's just full of this powder. Probably stupid that I dumped it out. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some water in here. In fact, I'm going to go do that. Okay. It's probably too much water, and then I'm going to drop these guys in. Oh, they don't fit. Come off it. I thought I got this in here. Uh-oh. There's a cat now playing. No, I got a thing full of water and a cat playing. Come on. It's taking long to spot that thing. Well, okay. I gotta get a different plan to water these guys up. Okay, I found a couple of suitable replacements. That's a 0.1. That's a 0.15. And we're gonna cut this stuff out of here. See the capacitor value? No. Let's put it right on the tester here. So it says basically 500 nanofarads. That'd be 0.5. 0.5, and it's got to be a 0.1. So if it's reading 0.5, that's quite a bit higher. These numbers are high, 5% and 3.4, higher than normal. But I don't really know what to make of these numbers, to be honest with you. With this kind of capacitor. I think that's really more of a consideration for modern electronics, I think. Okay, no doubt that the capacitor is leaking. Wasn't having an effect on the radio, so I think I'm going to put this one in. Looks like I remember where I cut the other one out of. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to install this. As for the batteries here, just sitting in this water, you can see I put a little soap in to break the surface tension, but look at the bubbles. So is there any water actually penetrating these? The last time I can see it, I could see an air bubble hanging right on the hole of this one here. Last time I applied pressure, and I think that was a pretty important factor for pushing the water in. So I don't know what's happening there. We'll find out in a bit. In the meantime, I'll install this capacitor and we'll go from there. I was pretty sure I had a better, bigger syringe, and I found this. Hey, how about that? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour this lock, stock, and barrel. Well, no barrel, no lock either. Is this a smart thing to do? No, it is not a smart thing to do. Okay, I'm gonna go pour this in the next room. Here we go. Okay. Put this in here. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Okay, so the air is out. We'll now put this under repeated pressure here. Doesn't feel like it's doing anything, but I'm sure it is. Water is incompressible. What I'm counting on is the air inside these batteries is compressible. Man, ooh, this leaks. It leaked all over me, so I can't. Okay, we'll let this sit some more. What are you doing in here? Cats love water. I run water in the sink. Cats go in the sink right away. Okay, I'm all wet. Right, so we're going to get back to putting in that capacitor, and then we'll check these batteries out. Okay, got the batteries back from the treatment center, better known as our laundry room, and yellowy water with a bit of residue in it. So as long as these are wet on the outside, they will exhibit some electrolytic action, and you'll get a measurement. They have to be dry on the outside, so there's no water bridging the rubber seal. On a couple of these batteries, the rubber seal looks really good, and on a couple of them, not so good. And if I had a syringe with a needle in it, I would certainly have used that to inject water into these instead of doing what I've tried. These have to sit and dry a bit, but let's read them now anyway and just see what we get. Why not? Okay. Just the sound of another screen coming on in here. Okay. So we got 1.22 there, and we got just about the same there. So, I mean, this is a real chemistry thing happening here. You've got a certain metal, which I think pretty obviously carbon in the middle, and this is almost certainly zinc on the outside. And there's an electromotive force difference between them, a natural electronic pressure difference. That's how I understand it. See, it's all, this one's the best. And is that the original one by some chance? I think it might be. The one that came out of the radio. Yeah, that's the smallest hole. Well, they're all showing something. Assumably that's because water got inside. It does look like it did. But I really wish I could inject it right in there. So we'll give them a few more minutes to dry up and then test them again. And for sealing them, you know, I could try to solder them, but that seems kind of absurd. You put water inside and then try to heat them up to soldering temperature. Just a dab of glue on there would probably be sufficient, as long as it's not water soluble. Should have done these with a smaller hole, I think. I thought I had the smallest drill, but apparently not. Okay, we'll give that some more time. Now the snow is coming down like gangbusters outside. I think since I've been in here this morning, maybe about that much snow has fallen on the ground, and it came in a very short period. Very heavy snow for a very short period. Okay, let's try these batteries out. We're going to stick them in the radio. Stick 2 of them in the radio, assuming these are good. Yeah, so they're going to show about that same pressure would be the right word for it. Yeah. Small variation in their output. This one's still quite wet. Not much variation though. Okay, don't think I'm going to seal them up just yet. I think what I'm going to do is stick them in the radio and try the radio out. There's one. Should put the original back in. This one here. It's the original back in the original spot. Too many fingers on the human hand, they get in the way. Okay, set these 2 aside. And I have to stop and go turn the antenna on, so we have an antenna. And then we'll play this radio and just make sure it's operating. Here's another look at the radar, and I'm located right here in the middle, and you can see this lake effect snow streamers going right over top of, or really it's dumping away. So not much use in me shoveling the driveway until this moves a bit, and who knows, it might be, looks like it's bending funny here. Who knows what's coming? Lots of snow. Okay, let's try out this radio now. Make sure it's working. So antenna is connected. Volume is, it's actually switched off. So I'm going to turn it on. There we go. Okay. We're going to want to crank the voltage up just a little bit here. 110, 115, 115 volts. Good. There's a pop in the speaker just now. So we're finding out if these bias batteries are enough to make the radio operate properly. Picking anything up? Oh yeah.
Council, we typically have thicker skin, but our staff feel intimidated. The residents that are attending feel intimidating. We have violent voicemails listening to us. We are suggesting that we are treasonous, and that the remedy for treason is a hanging. But none of that's going to stop just by closing the doors and going online. Well, it'll give again a place of decorum where we can have respectful discussion of public policy. We can have delegations that are streamed that we can watch and ask questions. There won't be heckling and the like. There won't be intimidation. There won't be the people with balaclavas and that. So it's a productivity thing and an ability to get work things done, perhaps more than anything else.
Just waiting to find out what station this is.
More than enough to justify some significant measures. Yes, and Mark, there is one particular bothersome point in this is one of our counselors has been on a podcast, the Kevin J. Johnson, on 5 different occasions. And this is a gentleman who's wanted, has judgments against him, who's called on this counselor's supporters to show up at City Hall with a baseball bat, have a dog being released to attack us, etc., etc., etc. It's so...
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Sorry to make you listen to that, but...
Pendant la COP 21.
Beautiful.
La COP 30, une COP importante quand même à suivre.
Wow, this radio's working really well. That's beautiful.
La COP 16 sur la biodiversité s'était terminée en queue de poisson.
This is Hamilton, so it's quite a ways away. Wow, lovely. It's really working nice. Way to go, Mr. Rogers. You built a nice radio way back in whenever this was built. This would be late 30s, I would think. Not exactly sure. Does it by some chance say on here? No. I don't see that it says on here. Okay, but I would guess this is late 1930s. This radio. Well, that's good. There's still some more capacitors to go. Pretty happy with the battery situation. I will seal those with a bit of glue, I think, and maybe not the ones I still have in my stock here. I'll leave the hole open so I can water them if they're needed. These ones I'll seal with just a touch of glue, and you know, I think they'll operate for years. That's what I kind of think. Okay, well, thanks a lot for watching today. I have to go deal with major snowfall before it gets too high for my snowblower. That would be a big problem. I have a big snowblower. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you tomorrow.